Hi students, today we are going to discuss about constructors and member functions in inheritance concept. Constructors and member functions. What is a constructor? In our last class we discussed about constructor. Constructor is a special member function. It is a special function. So a constructor has the name of the class name and constructor names both are same. At the same time, constructor doesn't have any return type. So in this video we will see constructors as well as member functions in inheritance concept. Look here, constructor call in multiple inheritance. It's almost the same. All the base class constructors are called inside derived class constructor. The same name, the same order in which they are inherited. In this case, first class B constructor will be executed, then class C constructor, and then class A constructor. Here, constructor, base class constructor and derived class constructor. So when you create the object for the derived class, automatically the base class constructor going to called by the derived class, and first parent class or base class constructor going to execute. After that, derived class constructor going to be executed. So here member functions. So constructors and member functions. Member functions is nothing but a function which has a different name and return type. So function declaration. So I will show one example program to understand this concept clearly. Member function is nothing but a function which has different name as well as return type. Constructor is a special member function. Special member function. So member functions, one special member function. Constructor and member functions seems to be same but different. I will show one example.
Okay, just I want to check the mic. Just the video recording mic.
So look at here.
Yeah. The assembly.
Two classes.
No, after lecture,
One is the derived class.
we go and check it.
It has a constructor. Derived class also declare one constructor. As well as base class also has one constructor. Here is a base class. Now derived class need not have a constructor as long as the base class has a no argument constructor. I will tell you. In inheritance concept, in the base class there is a constructor, but it doesn't have any arguments. Arguments are nothing but data members. At the same time, derived class there is a constructor. So what will happen? It calls automatically base class constructor into the derived class constructor. So automatically when the object is created, the base class constructor going to enter into the class of derived. So as long as constructor doesn't have the arguments, so automatically the constructor going to execute in derived class. When constructor has arguments, then you have to call that constructor through object, creating of a object that it says here. However, the base class has a constructors with arguments, then it is mandatory for the derived class to have a constructor and pass the arguments to the base class constructor. Base class constructor. When an object of a derived class is created, the constructor of the base class is executed first, and later the constructor of the derived class. So what is going on here? Simple. The base class constructor passing the arguments to the derived class constructor. So last point, it says when the object is created, then the base class constructor going to execute first, and then derived class constructor executes second. So these are the member functions, these are the constructors. So now I'm talking about only constructor, how constructor working, how constructor declaring with arguments and without arguments. You will see small program. Look at here. A small program is given here. Class A is a base class. Try to understand how to declare inheritance concept. A small program. How to write a program using of inheritance concept? We have seen many programs. Once again, to understand how to write a program using of inheritance concept, or declaring of base class and deriving of child class or subclass. Look at here. There are two classes. Class A is a base class. Class B is a derived class. So here class name, public, we are declaring the constructor. A is the constructor here. Look at here, A is the constructor. What is the syntax for declaring a constructor? Constructor going to have the same name of the class name. That's why base class name, constructor name are same. That's why A is a constructor. Now we are going to derive one more class, that is called child class. Here class B is the child class. So you are deriving from base class A. Here after that we declare the class B, and then we create the object. What is the object here? Here child class A and OB is the object we created. Then what will happen? Then automatically the base class constructor enter into the derived class, and the base class constructor executes first, then derived class constructor going to execute second. But here in base class A is a constructor, but class B there is no constructor, even though that constructor enter into the derived class. In child class there is no declaration of any constructor, even though from the base class to child class the constructor going to pass, constructor going to enter. This guy he mentioned here, access base constructor. Access base constructor. What is going to happen when the object is created? B space OB colon semicolon, B space OB semicolon. It means what? Creating of a object for derived class. It's mentioned here. Then if you declare like that, what will happen? If you declare like that, what will happen? It will happen. What will happen? Automatically the base constructor will be access. The base class constructor will be access. So this is called constructor. How enter into the base class to derived class, or else we can say that how base constructor access by derived class. Access by derived class is a small program. And we will see another. Previous class we have seen constructor only by base class. There is only one structure, one constructor. We are declaring that constructor in base class only. So now we are going to see constructor only in the derived class. Only in the derived class. So look at here. Class A is the base class. Class B is the derived class. Now class A, there is no constructor at all. But in class B, there is a constructor. There is a constructor. B bracket is a constructor. It is a constructor. Please remember and note this point. Constructor name always. Okay, class name. Second thing, constructor always will be in a public mode. Remember this thing, public mode. So now B bracket, it is nothing but a constructor. Class A, we are not declaring any constructor, but class B is a derived class. We are declaring a constructor. Now the constructor is going to access by the creating of an object. When the object is created, automatically the constructor will be called by the object. So here we get here. What is telling? They are telling B is a derived class, OB is an object. Now accessing that constructor, how? Creating of the object. We have mentioned clearly access derived constructor. Access derived constructor. So in previous slide we have seen the constructor that are declared in only base class and now we have seen the constructor that declared in only derived class. So now I have one question. Sir, we are accessing, it may be base class constructor or derived class constructor based on creating of an object. Now I want to access base class constructor at the same time derived class constructor. How we can access it? So we will see that concept also. Look at here. Here two classes are there. Along with the two classes, two constructors are also there. Along with these two classes, two constructors also will be there. Look at here. Two classes, class A, class B. In class A there is a constructor, name of the constructor A. In class B there is a constructor, name of the constructor B. Okay, here is the here is the base class constructor is there, but no arguments, and he declare one more constructor with the arguments. Arguments are nothing but parameters. Parameters are nothing but variable declaration. So here A, no arguments, constructor A with arguments. Okay, we declared constructor without arguments, at the same time constructor with arguments in a base class. Now look at here, class B is a constructor with arguments and constructor with the arguments. Now these three constructors you can access by creating up an object to the derived class. So I can call a constructor, call arguments constructor, you can call arguments of the constructor, creating of a object B, and object B I mentioned the three are access the three constructors of the three classes. Three constructors of the three classes. So how constructors are working base class to derived class. And one more thing we have to understood, an inheritance concept and a derived class constructor can access only data members of derived class, and the base class constructor when going to enter into the derived class, then the data members of base class can execute in a proper way through the base class constructor by calling of object, Here derived class constructor only can access the data members of derived class only, but if we want to access the data members of base class, remember this thing, data members of base class you want to access in a proper way, the base class constructor only it can do it in a proper way. That's why if you want to call the base class constructor, you should create an object, and through that object you can access constructor as well as data members of the base class in a proper way. So derived class constructor do not access in such a effective way the data members of base class until and unless you are not calling the constructor of a base class. Try to understand this concept. So this is about the constructors, how they are working in inheritance concept, base class to derived class. And what is a constructor? Constructor is a special member function, and it doesn't have any return type, and name of the constructor and name of the class are same. These are the rules for the constructor. And again we have seen member function, and member function is nothing but any function you can use a different function. It may have any name, and the user defined function it may have any name as well as return type. So this type of function is called as a member function. But this is not similar to constructor. It seems to be same, but constructor and data member function both are different. Okay. So we are going to see member functions, constructors that we have seen still now. Now I am going to explain about the member function. I already said the constructor as well as member function seems to be same, but difference in manner. Look at here, I want to show member function. Look like a small program is given here. Is a class declaring as a base class. Shape is the name of the base class. In this base class, what is the member function? Here, what is the member function? This is the member function is there. What is the member function? Here, member function wide set width. Look at here, wide set width is a member function with the arguments. Int w is the argument of a set width member function. So I won't declare a constructor. You may understand clearly what is a member function, what is a constructor. Look at here, a and bracket, and this is the name of a constructor. What is this name of a constructor? A, and declaring a bracket, and a is a name of a constructor. So but if you want to declare a as a member function, it should have return type here. Return type maybe int, maybe any return type, or void. That's why void set with is the name of a member function. Void is a return type. So that's why this one become as a member function, not a constructor. So difference between the constructor and member function is member function, it has return type. Here void is the return type. Please focus on here. Void is the return type. So void a return type. So this become as a member function. So okay, one more member function is there. Here set height also a member function. Set height is also a member function, and in this derived class, and again one more member function, that is get area. Int get area. Int is a return type. Get area is a member function without arguments. Member function without arguments. Here no arguments for the member function. Now here totally how many member functions are declared? Totally one is the set width, second one is the set height, and third one is the get area. These three are the member functions. Now from base class to child class, accessing all member functions to creating an object. So creating an object. So look at here, I am creating an object for the child class. What is the name of the child class? Name of the child class is a rectangle. Rectangle is the name of the child class. Object I am creating. How I am creating the object? Rect is the object name. I am creating the object for the child class. Now I access all the member functions from the base class and derived class. Look at here, object dot member function. What is the name of the first member function? Set with the name of the first member function. And second one is the set height is the name of the second member function. I am accessing the member functions of the base class to creating of the object of the derived class. So rect dot set width, rect dot set height. So what will happen? Automatically the member functions comes to the derived class and it will execute and it will show the output. So here no constructor, but here is the member functions. So set width, set height, and area is all are the member functions. But in a previous slide we have seen the constructors. Class A and B both are the constructors, but here these three are the member functions. What is the difference between? It seems to be same, but both are different.